Hello guys, it's Shannon from Audio Energy once again, and this week we're going to look at some 8Dio plugins, so stick around and let's have a look at a little test I did. Okay, so today we're looking at some plugins. I just want to go through a little bit of these and show you what you can get. These are from 8Dio, it's the number 8 with D-I-O. On it. I think I did a review of this product last week. So they started their summer sale. I think it was maybe end of last week. It goes till July 21st, 2017. So I'd get in and have a look at it if I were you. It's 40% off, and you just put a voucher in 8Dio40, and you get discount on a lot of the stuff they have. The 8Dio VST plugins I think are really, really good, very fresh. There are a few issues, as with all of them, that you don't really see on the websites when they're showing you the demos and things. However, I think these are really, really good. But basically, you'll find this everywhere, and it's not until you get in and use the interfaces and things that you really start to see the benefits. Anyway, what I will show you first is basically I got 3 packs. I've got the AGE pack, which is the Acoustic Grand Ensemble pack. It has all sorts of grand instruments in it, and I'll be showing you that a little bit later. It also has guitar, some pianos, and it's very multi-layered the way they record it. I haven't really heard anything done like this in this particular way, so it's really good. I also got the Barbary Lady's Voice pack, which she sings a lot of Irish kind of songs, Welsh songs, things like that. So there's a lot of phrases and things because I'm going after a certain particular style for a particular project that I'm doing. And the other one I got was I've always been chasing a particular sound for a violin, and the particular sound of that violin I haven't really heard in any packs. It's really been hard to find, and I found this one for I think it was $25, right? And it's exactly what I was after. I just added a little bit of reverb on it. That's it. Okay, so what you're going to hear here is just the straight up sound of that violin that I was after with the reverb. And the reverb is just Pro Tools, basic Pro Tools Deverb. Okay, I haven't even done any extra special work to this yet. So what you're going to hear, I've done about 1:20 of a sound production. It's just a test. I threw some instruments together. It's 2 chords, a bit of violin, a bit of vocals, because I wanted to just get an idea of what I'm doing, just like a test run off to get some ideas. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over to our screen recorder here, and I'm going to start recording. And I'm going to first play you this violin, and the sound of this violin comes from an idea I had when I heard Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Eowyn comes out the front of her little sort of kingdom where they are, and you see the flag fall down, and this violin starts to play, and it's a really eerie, rustic kind of violin, and I've always wanted that sound, and as I said, it's very hard to hear it. So I'm going to play it here, and this is what I managed to get, okay? Now that's what it sounds like just bare on its own, and you're probably thinking that sounds like crap, Shan. It kind of does a bit, but once you mix it in with everything, it sounds like this. Three or 4 tracks there. So it sounds a little out of tune, a little bit playing around there, but like I said, I'm just sort of throwing some ideas together. And as like I said, as you hear it when it comes into the beginning, just threw some vocals on. And there's the verb there. So it's a large room, 4.8 seconds. We've got a 75 millisecond delay, pre-delay, 80% diffusion, low pass filter to 16. And what else we got? So you can play around with this, and it's going to give that that sound there. So I basically have only the vocals and the violins going through the verb, and I have instrument 1, which is, let's have a look at instrument 1. Okay, so I've got big strings from Spitfire. Okay, and then I've got the vocals, and then I have the fiddle there as well. Okay, now in using their interface, which we will talk about shortly, a little more, allows you to do a lot of different things. There is, just depending on which one you use, they have a couple little kind of tools here on one of the other ones. I'm not sure if it's Pizzo or Drumline, I don't know. I haven't had a really good chance to play with these yet. I only just got them the other day, and I've been downloading a whole lot of things and playing with it. But they have about 4 or 5 keys here where you can change the way that the instrument is being bowed and used and played. Sounds pretty cool. You can change them around, but it's just a matter of getting used to them. There's the Barbary voices. What I'm also going to show you too is that the way the 8Dio works when you get it, and it doesn't say this anywhere on their website, but when you get 8Dio, you don't get the same kind of little border interface library that most of these other Kontakt instruments use. Okay, so we've got Evolve and all these ones, but I also have the libraries here. So you have to go to Files, okay, and then if you use their downloader, which I can show you here, this is the 8Dio downloader. Okay, let's go back to here, and it'll install it all for you automatically and do that. So I have the Barbary voices. Here's the library. And when you hear them on their own, they do sound very, when you first hear them you go, oh, geez, that's really, it doesn't quite work. But as soon as you put it into a project, and as soon as you start, put a little bit of reverb on it and things like that, it really starts to shine. I haven't even EQ'd anything. I've got nothing in time. This is just a 1 minute throw together bit that I just wanted to hear. It also comes with some bonus ambiances. It also comes, this is really interesting, these here are for convolution reverb. Okay, so you have basic reverb impulses. Okay, so when you're using convolution reverb, you've got a really good one, you can put that in and it will measure that particular example that you have. It'll analyze it and you can apply that and save it to any kind of other instrument that you have. I won't go into that right now, but that's one of the features they do have. And for 99 bucks, it's a pretty good pack, and they've got a whole lot of other different packs as well. So just looking at that, quite interesting how they've put this pack together. But you have to access this pack through the files. They do not have, 8Dio does not have a library like this, okay? So you just access it through files, grab it, put it up, and it kind of loads a little bit quicker and things like that anyway. And there I have all my other libraries, so you can access all your libraries this way. So you just grab it, pull it out, and it'll set up an instrument for you. You can go into your instrument settings and change things around a little bit. I haven't touched this one much at all, I don't think. I think I might have played with the violin or one of the other ones a little bit. So basically what I have set up is, I'll just shut this down. And so if I solo these, you'll hear that I have some strings, but I might change this. And down on this one, I have one of the included ambiances with that came with the voice. There you go. So you have your hall ambience, nice kind of strange, eerie, windy kind of sounds there as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm putting it together. Look, this is, like I said, a little mock-up piece, but I just wanted to hear how everything sounded. And there you go, it comes out quite nice. I think it's really beautiful. That's just, like I said, 2 chords, a little bit of violin, not even placed properly or played properly, and a bit of voice phrasing there. They do repeat sort of about 2 octaves apart. You can find the octave split where one is lower and one is higher. And they have quite a fair few phrases in there. I haven't even had a chance to go through the phrases yet. So, look, all in all, I think it's a really good little couple of packages there. That violin, $25. The voices there, $99. You get the ambiences with it. You get your impulse reverbs with the voice one. Okay, so we're looking at volume 1. You can buy these volumes separately. I bought it as a bundle, and just refer to my first part and for more information. So let's have a quick look at the piano. These will load nice and quick now because I've had them going a few times. And I'm going to get this synths as well. So you basically have main mic articulations, and you also have spot mic articulations, effects for them both, and the effects. Okay. I'm going to go to my main piano mics. So you've got all these. All right. So this gives you a bit of a kind of sound. And I'm actually going to go to sustain. I'm going to turn these off because this is going to actually save me a little bit of CPU power. Because when I turn these on, it's going to use a lot. So these are all my main mics. They've close, far, all that sort of thing. And when they made these, they actually recorded each piano. So what I'm controlling is the sound of each piano. These are not multi-layered, as you would do in other post-production sound samples and things like that. So I put on an EQ presence. I'm just going to give these a little bit more of a brighter kind of mid, so I can hear them a little bit more and you'll hear them better. It'll make it a sharper, tighter kind of note, but you will hear that. And I'm going to go to options here. My release is full on, that's great. I'm going to go to my effects, turn on my EQ. I'm going to go to the punch because it gives it a real good kind of sound here. Now, the mids are really dull, so I'm going to brighten those mids up. See that? Reduce the bass just a little bit, and I'm going to, what's this doing? And I'm going to come down to my reverb, give it more juice. I'm going to leave it on studio. I'm going to increase the size and probably reduce the pre-delay a little bit. That's better. So you've got this beautiful full sound. This is the sound of the piano on its own with no effects. Okay? So there you go. Now, with the synths, I want it to run that on the same MIDI channel, and you'll hear the difference when these kick in. One thing you'll have to do as well is try and balance off. We'll do that at the end, but going to synths, I'm going to run through this as quick as I can. I'm going to go to Vangelis, and I'm going to go to Mixer. Now, these are all the voices of the synths. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the other one. Go to EQ Presence and just boost some of these up a bit. These last two here kind of give the effect a real Vangelis kind of sound. There's a lot of full bodiness in some of these ones here. You can pan them along, but the effect I've had from that, it kind of reduces it, takes it away from it. Until I record, I'm really not going to play with those too much. I'm going to go to other, and I'm going to increase my release, okay, because I want them to have really big tails, really long, full sound. That way when you're changing chords and things, it doesn't sound so stiff. Going to the effects, again, turn on my EQ, set up the same one as before, punch. Now you've got to realise this is actually on the effect. Okay, so I'm going to brighten that effect. This is sort of internally playing with it. I want to increase that a little bit, increase that, decrease that. I'm going to change this from stage to space because it's way, 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 way long and it sounds really good. Okay, so here we go. Mixer, where's my articulations? Here we are. So this is, they call it Vangelis, and this is that Vangelis kind of. I'm going to balance off the piano, so I'm going to pull the piano down so it's not overwhelming, and I want to hear more of the effect there. So this should bring things back into more of a Vangelis, a real effective sound. Really powerful, really full. More based on kind of like the tail end of the instrument and what you're going to hear if you're playing some more of fills like this. So there you go, and the tails are still going there. So that's a bit of a sound of the piano. I want to go through a few of these instruments for you. I guess everyone wants to see guitar, so this will take a little bit to load. I haven't loaded this one previously. The guitar, look, it sounds good in the demos, but I'll have to probably work with this a lot more to really kind of get a better sound out of it. I'm not particularly overwhelmed by the guitar at the moment. But I'm sure once I get into it, it'll sound a lot better, I guess. Now these libraries are pretty big, 400 meg. And one thing I like to do as well when I'm doing music and this sort of thing is that, as you saw in the first half, I do a lot of tests and demos, and I basically just lay a few tracks down, get an idea for a piece of music that I'm writing. That's how I do it. I'll have a tune in my head, I'll have a sound in my head, and I like to play around with things. But the problem can be if you don't maybe pre-record that original tune that you have, the time you take to play around with all these sounds, you've forgotten it. And you'll end up coming up with something new, which is pretty good, but it can cause some problems and things. Look, these are guitars. But I think they sound a little bit too... I'll turn that up. Now you see this section down here, you can actually... I think that sounds more like a different type of instrument. And there's no effects on this, by the way. So let's see what effects we got here. and perhaps it might bring it up a little bit. Again, I've got my MIDI controller, make sure they're both in the same channel. Yeah, still not really. Let's go back to this for a minute. Let's go back to sustained for a minute. 0. Yeah, it's kind of a bit more. But again, it's in the way that you play. I guess it has that kind of sound there, guitar, but I think it just reminds me a bit too much of something else. Some of these other instruments, they're all very similar in their own way. And I am playing this on a keyboard, so does that sound like a guitar? Not really. Maybe if we go down a bit. The tremolo, however, is pretty good. Tremolo. So that's not too bad. Harmonics. Yeah, look, it's not too bad. It's not overwhelming. Not like some of the other instruments, you know. So I'll quickly show you glockenspiel, because glockenspiel is really nice. Over here, so just so used to dragging things from banks. Pull them, and we go to the effects as well, and pop it through. Okay. So that's the kind of glockenspiel sound there. Okay. Let's put it on Water Smile. This is quite a nice one too. Beautiful sounds there. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the xylophone. The xylophone comes out pretty good. I like the xylophone. I have to whip through these pretty quickly. And these are just instrument. Have a listen to that. That's just the instrument on its own. There's no effects on that. Beautiful sound. They've really gone all out on some of these. Most of these, actually. Here it is with the effect. That sounds great. Now, some of these effects have tail effects in their tail. You can hear that. Sounds great. Let's see. So that's those. In volume 2, we have. That was volume 2. Here we go. We have the Cymbalum. And I'll put the effects up as well. So here's the Cymbalum on its own. And when we run our effects into it, yeah, I always ruined it at the end there, don't I? What else we got? Glucimer. Now let's go to the harps here. No, I don't want to say Have a quick look at harps. Harps are quite nice, really nice. And let's put that up. Okay, so here's harps on their own. Really nice. And here it is with the effects. The effects just bring it up a little bit and fill it out. Let's have a look. Angelplex. There you go, you can see all that. It'll sound great. There's a bit of rain. And if you wanted to as well, you could add these Travaglioni, I think it is. It's one of the sound designers from Idea. And works for other people as well. And he's got some pads in there, extra pads that sound pretty good. Sound really good, actually. Let's get a bit of, I'll just show you the marimba and the pads. So we're getting along now. Getting a bit long in the teeth. Here we go. There we go. So that's basically all of a quick look at the instruments. There is wind chimes and some bells and things. This one, some pads. New monsoon, here we are. So some great pads and things in there too. Cannons. There you go. Look, I'll leave it there for now. But that's a good rundown on what I have got in the AGE bundle from 8Dio. You can buy it together. It's on discount, 40% off. It's also been discounted before that, but you can get this very cheaply at the moment. It's worth about $700-800. You can get it for about $300. So it's really worth looking at getting. Beautiful instruments, beautiful articulation, plenty you can do. I only just showed you the basic touches of those. You can really scramble them up, mix and mash them up and change them around and put extra sound in. Just amazing what you can do with this pack. The Barbary pack is also very good. You get a lot of impulse reverb things for your convolution reverb. You get voices and other things. Some of the oohs and ahs are very blunt and you probably have to work with them a little bit. But at the end of the day, look, great packages. The violin one was good too. And I'll leave it at that for now because it's getting very long. Please subscribe. This is Shannon Rimmer, Audio Energy, and thanks for watching. So see you next time. Cheers.